Welcome back to Slow Night Sleepy Stories. Last night we walked through the mystical bamboo forest of King Michu. Tonight we journey to the most brilliant and wise era of Silla, the time of Queen Seondeok. Imagine the Milky Way pouring over the ancient observatory, Cheomseongdae. Think of the wise queen who foresaw the future just by looking at a painting of peony flowers. As the 27th ruler and the first female monarch of Silla, she read the stars in the dark night to become a guiding light for her people. Tonight's story is about the wisdom and foresight of Queen Seondeok, as recorded in the 4th volume of the Samguk Sagi. Turn off the noise of the busy world for a moment. Let the silent starlight that adorned the night sky of Seorabeol 1,000 years ago guide you into a peaceful dream, a moment of silence. To help you fall into a deep sleep, the screen will slowly dim and fade away, leaving only a faint glow like a starry night. Now close your eyes and listen to the story of the wise queen. Jijung Maripgan ascended the throne. His surname was Kim, and his name was Jidoro, or Jicholo. He was the great-grandson of King Namel, the son of Galmunwang Sopbo, and the second cousin of King Soji Maripgan. His mother was Lady Josang of the Kim clan, the daughter of King Nolji, and his queen was Lady Yunjae of the Park clan, the daughter of Ichan Dongun, recorded as Donggeo in the Samguk Yusa. The king had a very large physique, and his courage was stronger than others. Since the previous king died without a son, he succeeded to the throne. He was 64 years old at the time. Discussion. Silla kings were called Gyeoseogun for 1, Chachang for 1, Isagum for 16, and Maripgan for 4. Choi Chi-won, a famous Confucian scholar of the late Silla period, wrote the Jwang Yeondaryok, Chronicles of Monarchs, and referred to them all as King So-and-so, without mentioning terms like Gyeoseogun. Perhaps he considered those terms too rustic to be used. Although the Zuozhuan and the Book of Han are Chinese histories, they still preserved the Chu dialect word Goguodu and the Xiongnu word Chanyu. Now, in recording the affairs of Silla, it is also appropriate to preserve its dialect. Spring. Second month, an order was issued to ban live burials, human sacrifice. Previously, when a king died, 5 men and 5 women were buried alive with him, but this was forbidden starting from this time. The king personally offered sacrifices at the shrine. Third month, orders were distributed to the heads of provinces and commanderies to encourage agriculture, and plowing with oxen was used for the first time. Year 4. Winter, 10th month. The ministers addressed the king, saying, "Since the founder established the nation, the country's name has not been fixed. It has been called Sara, Sorrow, or Silla. We believe that the character Sin means virtue is renewed daily, and Ra means encompassing the 4 directions. Thus, it would be appropriate to make this the country's name. Furthermore, looking at those who possess states since ancient times, they all called themselves emperor or king. Since our founder established the state until now, for 22 generations, only dialect terms have been used for the royal title, and the noble title has not been rectified. Now all the subjects with one mind humbly offer the title King of Silla." The king followed this. Year 5. Summer, 4th month. The law regarding mourning clothes was established and promulgated. Autumn, 9th month. Laborers were levied to build 12 castles, including Peri, Misal, Jindaeok, and Golwa. Year 6. Spring, 2nd month. The king personally determined the provinces, commanderies, and counties within the country, established Siljik-ju, and appointed Isabu as the Gunju, military commander. The title of Gunju originated from this. Winter, 11th month. For the first time, the relevant office was ordered to store ice, and the benefits of using boats, transportation by ship, were established. Year 10, 509. Spring, 1st month. The Eastern Market was established in the capital. 3rd month. Traps were set up to eliminate the harm caused by savage beasts. Autumn, 7th month. Frost fell and killed the bean crops. Year 13. Summer, 6th month. Usanguk surrendered and submitted, offering local products as tribute every year. Usanguk is an island in the sea directly east of Myeongju, also known as Ulleungdo. The land is 100 lis square. Relying on its rugged terrain, they did not submit. Ichan Asabu became the Gunju of Hasilaju and said, The people of Usan are foolish and fierce, so it is difficult to make them come by authority. They can be made to submit by a trick. He then made many wooden lion figures, distributed them onto warships, and reached the coast of that country. He deceived them, saying, "If you do not surrender, I will release these wild beasts to trample and kill you." The people of the country were terrified and surrendered. Spring, first month, a small capital, Sogyeong, was established at Asikon. Autumn, seventh month, people from the 6 departments and the southern regions were moved to populate it. The king passed away. His posthumous name was Jijung. The Silla method of posthumous naming began with this. Beofeng King. King Beofeng ascended the throne. His name was Wonjong. The Sefu Yuangui says his surname was Mo and name was Tae, and he was the eldest son of King Jijung. His mother was Lady Yeonjae, and his queen was Lady Bodo of the Park clan. The king was 7 chok tall, and his nature was generous and kind, loving the people. Spring, first month. He personally offered sacrifices at the shrine. A dragon appeared in the well at Yangsan. Year 4, 5-7. Summer, fourth month. The Ministry of War was established for the first time. Year 5, spring, second month, Jusan Fortress was built. Year 7, 520, spring, first month. Laws were promulgated, and for the first time, official uniforms and ranks, distinguished by red and purple colors, were established for all officials. Year 8, an envoy was sent to Liang to offer local products. Year 9, spring, third month, the king of Gaia sent an envoy to request a marriage alliance, so the king sent the younger sister of Ichan, Bijobu. Year 11, autumn, ninth month, the king went out to patrol the southern border and expand the territory. The king of Gaia came to meet him. Year 12, 5, spring, third month, Daechan Ideung was appointed as the Gunju of Sabeol-ju. Buddhism began to flourish. Initially, during the time of King Nulji, the monk Mukoja arrived in Ilseong-gun from Goguryeo. A person of that commandery named Morye, dug a cave chamber inside his house to accommodate him. At this time, Liang sent an envoy with clothing and incense. The king and ministers did not know the name or use of the incense. They sent a person to carry the incense around and ask about it. Mukoja saw it and stated its name, saying, "If you burn this, a soft and rich fragrance will arise." With this, sincerity reaches the sacred. The so-called sacred is none other than the 3 jewels. First is the Buddha, second is the Dharma, and third is the Sangha. If you burn this and make a wish, there will surely be a miraculous response. At that time, the king's daughter had a skin disease. So the king had Mukoja burn the incense and state the vow, and the princess's illness was soon cured. The king was very pleased and gave him particularly generous gifts. Mukoja withdrew, met Moore, gave him the gifts he received, and explained the reason, saying, "I have a place I wish to go to now, so I bid you farewell." Then, no one knew where he had gone. By the time of King Bicho, King Soji, there was Ado H. Wasang, also written as Ado, who came to Moore's house with 3 attendants. His appearance and behavior were similar to Mukoja. He lived there for a few years and died without illness. His 3 attendants stayed and read sutras and precepts, and occasionally there were people who believed. Reaching this time, King Beofeng also wished to promote Buddhism, but the ministers did not believe and complained incessantly, so the king was in a difficult position. A close official, Ikadon, also called Cheodo, said, "I beg you to cut off your subject's head to settle the discussions of the many." The king said, "Originally I wished to promote the way. Killing an innocent person is not right." Ikadon replied, "If the realization of the way can be practiced, your subject has no regrets even if he dies." The king then called the ministers and asked them, and they all said, "Looking at the monks now, with shaved heads and strange clothes, their speech is bizarre and deceptive. It is not the normal way. If we let them be now, we fear there will be regrets later. Even if our guilt is heavy, we dare not receive this command." Ikadon alone said, "The words of the ministers are not right. Generally, only after there is an extraordinary person can there be an extraordinary event. Now, hearing of the profundity of Buddhism, I fear we cannot help but believe." The king said, "The words of the people are firm and cannot be broken. You alone speak differently, so I cannot follow both sides." Finally, as the lower official was about to execute him, Ikadon said at the point of death, "I suffer punishment for the sake of the Buddha's law. If the Buddha has divine power, there will surely be a strange occurrence when I die." When his neck was cut, blood gushed from the severed area like a spring, and its color was as white as milk. People considered this strange and never slandered Buddhist affairs again. This follows the record in Kim Daemun's Gyerim Jun. It differs from what is recorded in the Stela of Ado Hwasung by Hanama Kim Yongheng. Year 16,529, an order was issued to ban the killing of living things. Year 18,531, spring, 3rd month, the relevant office was ordered to repair the embankments. Summer, 4th month, Ichan Cholbu was appointed as Sangdong to oversee national affairs. The office of Sangdong began here. It is like the current prime minister. Year 19,532, Kim Guhai, the lord of Gumgwan Gaya, came to surrender with his queen and 3 sons, the eldest Nojong, the second Mudeok, and the youngest Muryok, bringing the national treasury and treasures. The king treated them with rights and gave him the rank of Sangdong, making his original country his fief. His son Muryok served until he reached the rank of Gakken. Year 21, Fivern Cholbu died. Year 23, 536. For the first time, an era name was proclaimed called the first year of Jeonwon. Year 25, spring, 1st month, an edict was issued, allowing local officials to take their families to their posts. Year 2740, autumn 7th month, the king passed away. His posthumous name was Beopheong, and he was buried at the northern peak of Igongsa. King Jinhong ascended the throne. His name was Samek Jong, or sometimes Simek Bu. He was 7 years old at the time. He was the son of Galmunwang Ipchong, the younger brother of King Beopheong. His mother was Lady Kim, the daughter of King Beopheong, and his queen was Lady Sado of the Park clan. Since the king was young, the queen mother ruled as regent. Year 12, 500, spring, 1st month, the era name was changed to Gaeguk. 3rd month, the king went on an inspection tour and stayed at Nangseong. Hearing that Uruk and his disciple Nimun knew music, he specially summoned them. The king stayed at Harem Palace and ordered them to play their music. The 2 men each composed and played new songs. Prior to this, King Gassel of Gaya had made a 12-string zither to imitate the rhythms of the 12 months and ordered Uriuk to compose its music. When that country fell into disorder, he took the instrument and defected to us. The music was named Gayagum. The king ordered Jeochilbu and others to invade Goguryeo, and taking advantage of the victory, they captured 10 commanderies. Year 1352. The king ordered 3 men, Jiego, Beopji, and Mandeok, to learn music from Uriuk. Uriuk assessed their abilities and taught Giego the zither, Gayagum, Beopji singing, and Mandeok dancing. When their studies were completed, the king had them perform and said, "It is no different from the sounding song before," and rewarded them generously. Year 1453. Spring, 2nd month. The king ordered a new palace to be built to the east of Wolsong. A yellow dragon appeared at that site, which the king considered strange, so he changed it to a temple and named it Hwangnyeong, Yellow Dragon. Autumn, 7th month. Taking the northeastern territory of Baekje, Sinju, new province, was established, and Akan Muryok was made the Gunju. Winter, 10th month. The daughter of the Baekje king married into the court. Year 15,554. King Myeongnong of Baekje, King Song, attacked Gwansan fortress together with Garyang Gaya. The Gunju Gakkan Udeok and Ichan Tamji fought against them but were in a disadvantageous situation. Kim Muryok, the Gunju of Sinju, led his troops forward to engage in battle, and his subordinate general, Gogon Dodo of Samnyeonsan-gun, struck and killed the Baekje king in a hurry. Accordingly, all the troops took advantage of the victory and won greatly, beheading 4 Jwapyong and 29,600 soldiers. Not a single horse returned. Autumn, 7th month. Because Baekje invaded the border people, the king sent out troops to block them, killing or capturing over 1,000 men. 9th month. Gaya rebelled, so the king ordered Isabu to subdue them and made Sadaham his deputy. Sadaham led 5,000 cavalry, rushed in first, entered the Jeondan gate, and raised a white flag. Those inside the fortress were terrified and did not know what to do. When Isabu arrived with his troops, they all surrendered at once. When discussing merits, Sadaham was recognized as the first, and the king gave him good land and 200 prisoners as a reward, but Sadaham declined 3 times. When the king strongly urged him, he accepted, then released the slaves to make them commoners and divided the land among the soldiers. The people of the country admired this. Year 25. An envoy was sent to northern Qi to offer tribute. Year 26, spring, 2nd month. Emperor Wuchang of northern Qi issued an edict appointing the king as commissioner with special powers, commander of East Barbarians, Duke of Lelang Commandery, and King of Silla. Autumn, 8th month. Achan Chunbu was ordered to go out to Gukwan and guard it. 9th month, Wansanju was abolished and Daeju was established. The Chen dynasty sent envoy Lu Si and monk Mingguan to pay a visit and sent over 1,700 volumes of Buddhist sutras and treatises. Year 27, 566, 2nd month, 2 temples, Gyeonsa and Siljasa, were completed. Prince Dongyun was appointed as the crown prince. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Hwangyangsa temple was completed. Spring, 3rd month. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Year 29, 568, the era name was changed to Daichang. Summer, 6th month. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Winter, 10th month. Bukhansanju was abolished and Namcheonju was established. Also, Byeolholju was abolished and Dalholju was established. Year 31. Summer, 6th month. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Year 32, 571. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Year 33, spring, 1st month. The era name was changed to Hongjae. 3rd month, Crown Prince Dongyun died. An envoy was sent to northern Qi to offer tribute. Winter, 10th month, 20th day. For the soldiers who died in battle, a Palguan assembly, 8 precept ceremony, was held at a temple outside the capital for 7 days. Year 37, 576. Spring. The Wanhua were accepted for the first time. Initially, the king and ministers were distressed that they had no way to know people, so they wished to gather people in groups to play, observe their conduct and righteousness, and then select and employ them. Finally, 2 beautiful women were selected. One was named Namo and the other Junjeong. More than 300 followers gathered. The 2 women competed in beauty and were jealous of each other. Junjeong lured Namo to her private house, forced her to drink wine until she was drunk, then dragged her away and threw her into the river to kill her. Junjeong was executed, and the followers lost harmony and dispersed. After that, handsome men were chosen, adorned with makeup and named Hwarang, flower boys, to be revered. Crowds gathered like clouds. They either polished each other with morality or delighted each other with songs and music, playing in mountains and waters, reaching everywhere no matter how far. Through this, their crookedness or righteousness became known, and the good ones were chosen and recommended to the court. Therefore, Kim Daemun's Hwarang Segi says, "Wise ministers and loyal subjects arise from here. Good generals and brave soldiers are produced from here." Cho Chi-wan's preface to the Nalang Stela says, "There is a mysterious way in the country called Pengnu, wind and flow. The origin of establishing this teaching is detailed in the history of the immortals. In reality, it encompasses the 3 teachings and transforms the multitude. Entering, one is filial at home, and going out, one is loyal to the country. This is the purport of the Minister of Justice of Lu, Confucius. Managing affairs with non-action and practicing the unspoken teaching. This is the tenet of the archivist of Zhou, Laozi. Doing no evil and reverently practicing all good. This is the cultivation of the Prince of India, Buddha." Tang Dynasty's Linghu Cheng wrote in Record of Silla, "Selecting beautiful sons of noble families, they powder their faces and adorn them, calling them Hwarang. The people of the country all revere and serve them." Master Anhong entered Sui to seek the Dharma and returned with foreign monks, Bamara and 2 others, presenting the Lankavatara Sutra, Srimala Sutra, and Buddha's relics. Autumn, 8th month, the king passed away. His posthumous name was Jinhung, and he was buried at the northern peak of Igongsa. The king ascended the throne at a young age and served the Buddha with a single mind. In his later years, he shaved his head, wore monk's robes, and called himself Beopun, ending his life this way. The queen also followed him to become a nun and lived at Yeonghongsa. When she died, the people of the country buried her with rites. King Jinji ascended the throne. His name was Saryun or Gumnyun, and he was the second son of King Jinhung. His mother was Lady Sado, and his queen was Lady Jido. Since the crown prince had died early, Jinji ascended the throne. First year, 576. Ichan Gyeochilbu was made Sangdae-dung and entrusted with state affairs. Year 2, 577. Spring, second month. The king personally offered sacrifices at the shrine and granted a great amnesty. Winter, 10th month. Since Baekje invaded the provinces and commanderies on the western border, Ichan Sejong was ordered to send out troops to strike and defeat them north of Ilseon, beheading over 3,700 men. Nariseo fortress was built. Year 3, 578. Autumn, 7th month. An envoy was sent to Chen to offer local products. Alisan fortress was yielded to Baekje. Spring, 2nd month. Baekje built Eungyeon Fortress and Songsul Fortress to cut off the roads to Sansan Fortress, Majihyeon Fortress, and Nariseo Fortress. Autumn, 7th month, 17th day. The king passed away. His posthumous name was Jinji, and he was buried north of Yeonggyeongsa. Jimpyeong King. King Jimpyeong ascended the throne. His name was Baekjeong, and he was the son of Dongyun, the crown prince of King Jinhung. His mother was Lady Manho, or Mane, of the Kim clan, the daughter of Galmunwang Ipjeong, and his queen was Lady Maya of the Kim clan, the daughter of Galmunwang Boksong. From birth, the king's appearance was extraordinary. His body was tall and large, his will was deep and strong, and his knowledge was bright and penetrating. First year. 8th month, Ichan Noribu was made Sangdae-dung. The king's younger brother of the same mother, Baekban, was appointed Jinjeong Galmunwang, and Gukban was appointed Jinan Galmunwang. Spring, 2nd month. He personally offered sacrifices at the shrine and appointed Ichan Hujik as Minister of War. Year 3, 581. Spring, 1st month. The Wihua Bu, Office of Personnel, was established for the first time, similar to the current Ministry of Personnel. Year 5, 583. Spring, 1st month. The Sonbuso, Office of Ships, was established for the first time, with 1 Dagum and 1 Jagum. Year 6, 584, spring, 2nd month. The era name was changed to Jeonbok. 3rd month, 1 Joburyong, Director of Tribute and Taxes, was appointed to manage tributes and taxes, and 1 Songburyong, Director of Carriages and Horses, was appointed to manage vehicles and horses. Year 7, 585, spring, 3rd month. There was a drought, so the king avoided the main hall, reduced his meals, and went to the Namdang to personally review prisoners. Autumn, 7th month. The high monk Jim Yong entered Chen to seek the Dharma. Spring, 1st month. 2 Yeburyong, directors of rites, were appointed. Summer, 5th month. Thunder shook and stars fell like rain. Year 9, 587. Autumn, 7th month. 2 men, Dace and Guchil, went to the sea. Dace was the son of Cheomseongdae, a 7th-generation descendant of King Namol. His nature was handsome and unconventional, and from a young age, he had the will to go outside the secular world. He said to his friend, the monk Tamsu, "If we end our lives here within the valleys of Silla, how is it different from a fish in a pond or a bird in a cage, not knowing the vastness of the blue sea or the spacious leisure of mountains and forests? I intend to take a raft and float on the sea to reach Wu or Yue, seek masters, and inquire about the way in famous mountains. If ordinary bones can be exchanged and immortality can be learned, then floating on the wind to the outer limits of the sky would be the most singular journey and magnificent sight in the world. Can you follow me?" Tamsu did not consent, so Dace withdrew and sought a friend. He happened to meet Guchil, who was upright and had extraordinary integrity, and they roamed together at a temple in Namsan. Suddenly, wind and rain made fallen leaves float in the puddles in the courtyard. Dace said to Guchil, "I have a will to travel west with you. Now let us each pick up a leaf and make it a boat to see whose goes first." Shortly, Dace's leaf was in front, and Dace laughed, saying, "I am going." Guchil said indignantly, "I am also a man. How could I alone be unable?" Dace knew he could join him and secretly told him his will. Guchil said, "This is my wish. Finally, they became friends, took a boat from the southern sea, and left. Afterwards, their destination was unknown. Winter. 12th month, Sangdaedeong Noribu died, and Ichan Suolbu was made Sangdaedeong. Year 11, 589. Spring 3rd month, Dharma Master Wangwang entered Chen to seek the Dharma. Autumn 7th month, there was a great flood in the west of the country. 30,360 households drifted away or drowned, and over 200 people died. The king sent envoys to relieve them. Spring 2nd month, 2 Yeonggek Buryong, directors of reception, were appointed. Autumn 7th month, Namsan Fortress was built with a circumference of 2,854 paces. Year 15, 593. Autumn 7th month, Myeongwal Fortress was repaired with a circumference of 3,000 paces, and Soyongsan Fortress had a circumference of 2,000 paces. Year 16, 594. The Emperor of Suai issued an edict appointing the king as upper pillar of the state, Shan Kaifu, Duke of Lilang Commandery, and King of Silla. Year 18, 596. Spring 3rd month, the high monk Damyuk entered Sui to seek the Dharma. An envoy was sent to Sui to offer local products. Winter 10th month, a fire broke out at Yeonghongsa. 350 houses were burned, and the king personally went to provide relief. Year 24, 602. Envoy Daenama Sangun was sent to Sui to offer local products. Autumn 8th month. Because Baekje attacked Amak Fortress, the king ordered generals and soldiers to fight against them and greatly defeated them, but Guisan and Chuhang were killed in action. Autumn 9th month. The high monk Jimyong returned following the envoy Sangun. The king respected Jimyong's precepts and conduct and made him a dadeok, great virtue. Year 25, 603. Autumn 8th month. Since Goguryeo invaded Bukhansan Fortress, the king personally led 10,000 troops to block them. Year 26, 6or, Autumn 7th month, Daenama Mance, Hemun, and others were sent as envoys to offer tribute to Sui. Namcheonju was abolished and Bukhansanju was re-established. Year 27, 605, Spring 3rd month, the high monk Damyuk returned with the envoy to Sui, Hemun. Autumn 8th month, troops were raised to invade Baekje. Year 30, the king worried that Goguryeo frequently violated the borders. He intended to ask Sui for troops to attack Goguryeo. He ordered Wangwang to write a petition for troops. Wangwang said, "To seek one's own survival by killing others is not the behavior of a monk. However, I, a humble monk, live in the great king's land and eat the great king's water and plants, so how could I dare not follow the command?" He then reverently composed it. 2nd month, Goguryeo invaded the northern border and captured 8,000 people. 4th month, Goguryeo took Umyongsan Fortress. Year 33, 611. The king sent an envoy to Sui to present the petition requesting troops, and Emperor Yang of Sui granted it. Winter, 10th month, Baekje troops besieged Gajam Fortress for 100 days. The magistrate Chandeok defended it firmly but died when his strength was exhausted, and the fortress fell. Year 38, winter 10th month, Baekje attacked Mosan Fortress. Year 40, 608, the Gunju of Bukhansanju raised an army to fight Baekje in order to retake Gajam Fortress. Haran joined the army, advanced into the enemy lines, fought with all his might, and died. Haran was the son of Chandeok. Year 43, 21, autumn, 7th month. The king sent an envoy to Tang to offer tribute and local products. Emperor Gaozu personally comforted him and sent the Tongji Sanji Changshi, attendant in ordinary, Yu Wensu to pay a visit, granting an edict, screen paintings, and 300 bolts of colored silk. Year 45, 601st month, the Ministry of War, Byongbu, was staffed with 2 daegum. Winter, 10th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute. Baekje raided Nongno-hyeon. Year 46, 624, spring 1st month, 6 daegum were appointed to the Siwibu Royal Guards, 1 daejong to the Sangsaso Office of Awards, and 1 daejong to the Daedo-so Office of Great Way. 3rd month, Tangaozu sent an envoy to invest the king as pillar of state, Duke of Lilang Commandery, and King of Silla. Winter, 10th month, Baekje troops came and besieged 6 of our fortresses, Sokam, Engjam, Gijam, Bongjam, Gihyeon, and Hyolchek. Thereupon 3 fortresses either fell or surrendered. Gupchan Nulche combined the soldiers of the three fortresses of Bongjam, Engjam, and Gyeon to defend firmly but could not win and died in action. Year 4725 and the month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute and also to appeal that Goguryeo was blocking the road, preventing tribute missions and frequently invading. Year 4826, autumn, 7th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute. Tang Gaozu sent Zhu Zish to admonish Goguryeo by imperial decree to make peace with each other. 8th month, when Baekje attacked Juje fortress, the fortress lord Dongso fought against them and died in action. Gohyo fortress was built. Spring, 3rd month, there were strong winds, rain, and landslides for 5 days. Summer, 6th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute. Autumn, 7th month, the Baekje general Sagjol captured 2 fortresses on the western border and took over 300 men and women as captives. 8th month, frost fell. Winter, 11th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute. Year 50, 628. Spring, 2nd month, since Baekje besieged Gajam fortress, the king sent out troops to strike and defeat them. Summer, there was a great drought, so the market was moved and a dragon was painted to pray for rain. Winter, people were starving and sold their children. Year 51, 629, 8th month, the king sent great generals Yongchun and Seoyeon and vice-general Yusin to invade Goguryeo's Nangbi fortress. The Goguryeo people came out of the fortress and formed battle lines. Their military strength was very formidable. Our soldiers saw this and were afraid, losing the will to fight. Yusin said, "I have heard, if you shake the collar, the fur coat is straightened, and if you pull the head rope, the net opens. I will become that head rope and collar." He then mounted his horse, drew his sword, and charged straight toward the enemy lines, entering and exiting 3 times. Each time he entered, he beheaded a general or pulled up a flag. The soldiers took advantage of the victory, beat the drums, and advanced, beheading over 5,000 men, and the fortress surrendered. 9th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to offer tribute. Year 53. Spring, 2nd month, a white dog climbed onto the palace wall. Summer, 5th month, Echan Chilsuk rebelled together with Achan Sokpum. The king knew of it, arrested Chilsuk, beheaded him at the eastern market, and exterminated his 9 clans. Achan Sokpum fled to the Baekje border, but longing to see his wife and children, he hid by day and walked by night, returning as far as Cheongsan. He met a woodcutter, took off his clothes and exchanged them for the woodcutter's tattered clothes, carried firewood, and secretly came home, where he was caught and executed. Autumn, 7th month, an envoy was sent to Tang to present 2 beautiful women. When Wei Zheng advised that receiving them was not right, the emperor was pleased and said, "Even the parrot presented by Lin Yi complained of the bitter cold and thought of returning to its country. How much more so for 2 women separated far from their relatives?" He sent them back with the envoy. A white rainbow entered the well in the palace, and Saturn encroached upon the moon. Year 54, 632, spring, 1st month, the king passed away. His posthumous name was Jinpyong, and he was buried at Hanji. Tang Taizong issued an edict posthumously granting him the title of Left Grand Master of Imperial Entertainments with silver seal and blue ribbon, Zuoguanglu Defu, and gave 200 bolts of silk for funeral gifts. The old records say, he died in the 1st month of the Imjin year, the 6th year of Zhengguan. However, the new book of Tang and Ziji Tongjian both say, in the Sinmyo year, the 5th year of Zhengguan, Silla King Jinpyong died. Why is there a mistake?